We need to factor first to figure out what the roots are. So how do we factor this kind when there's four terms like this?
Take out a squared.
Right, it's grouping. What can I take out of these two is a squared. What's left when I take a squared out, divide a squared out of both of these?
Negative 4.
-4 comes out of these two. Divide them both by -4. Then the outside stuff goes, and the inside stuff goes. Alright, what about this thing?
Oh, plus 4, plus or minus 2.
You could factor it as a square minus a square. A plus 2, a minus 2. Whoops. Okay. So what are the roots for the function? -2 and 2. But -2 is a double root, which means it's going to bounce right there. What shape does a to the third take when we graph it? A cubic function. Squiggle. Okay, so on our squiggle, this is going to be a double root, so it's going to bounce right there and go through there. So it's like that. You don't really have to put the lines on the graph, you just kind of need the -2 and 2. Alright. That part I think you guys know how to do. This next part, I think this is where I lose you. Okay, we want the values where the function is greater than 0. Okay, the function is greater than 0 only right here.
Wait, I get it now. I forgot about it last time.
You let your brain rest and then you came back and now it all of a sudden makes sense. Okay, what a values, what x values makes the function greater than 0? Well, it'd be all these x values because the function, if I plug in like 5, the function's up here, 6, the function's up here. So all these x values make the function positive. So x, or I guess a value is greater than 2. Make the function positive. Does that make sense? Iffy? Okay. I'll help you. Caden, you good?
Oh, what?
Good. Okay.
I understand the concept.
But,
Let's do tomorrow.
There's no plus.
oh, you said it with a, he said it with a butt tone.
Great. You are disappointed. But I still love you for who you are.
This is Grant level humor. In other words, it's of the highest tier. All right, number 17. N cubed minus 7n plus 6.
Bro, said Bro, you were just over there and you were just like,
Bro, and look at yours.
I think you like that.
it's like what you
He
imagine
does
like,
every day.
what you imagine a dragon.
Okay.
The dragon just finished everything.
Um,
It's like,
Do you guys know what's wrong with this one?
there's nothing squared.
It's not n squared. So we don't have any special tricks for this one other than using rational root theorem. So do you guys remember the rational root theorem?
First and last.
Factors of 6 over factors of 1 give you possible answers.
There's like one answer.
Stop.
So it's plus or minus 1, 2, 3, and 6 over 1. So plus or minus 1, 2, 3, and 6. Really, we only need to find one of them though, because the other two, once we get one of them out, the other two will just pop out. So if I plug in one, for example, right here, would one work?
Yeah.
1 minus 7 plus 6? Yeah, that works. So 1 is one of the answers. And what we did, this is on our last test, we used synthetic division to kind of take that one answer out. And this right here contains the last two answers. And this does factor, right? What multiplies into -6,
-2, 3.
that adds up to 1. 3 and -2. So those are the roots. So -3 is way over here, 1 and 2 are here. Alright, what shape does an x cubed take? We just did it.
The weird.
Squiggle is the official term.
Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Textbook, no.
It was you. I had nothing.
She's bullying us by making us listen to
Why are
it.
you touching me?
They're not.
Stop.
Okay, so what do we want? Greater than 0? Okay, I forgot. Less than 0.
Say
So-
that.
Where is this function less than 0? So where's the function negative at?
Between 1 and 2 and -6.
Right. Right here. So what x values? So all the x values less than -3 going this way give you a negative value. So x is less than -3. Or the x values between 1 and 2.
No one
With
listen.
out
I
the
don't know
shoes.
what you're talking
With
about.
out.
No, I have shoes on. No, you don't. Yes, I literally do.
This is
No,
like
you're right,
actually-
you do. Sorry, I can't see.
It makes sense now. I don't know what flipped the switch. Maybe you just needed a break.
I think it's the red line.
Was I using one color instead?
I think you're using the purple background.
That was a purple background. Alright. Next, 2x cubed.
Is 18 gonna need the same thing?
Yeah, 18. Might as well plug in -1 for that one. 2x cubed plus x squared. Okay, they put the -2 on the wrong side on this one, so I'm just gonna scooch it over. Add 2 to both sides so it looks normal. Okay, this is the 4 term, so this is probably the grouping one, right? No, actually grouping won't work, darn it. Okay, so I'll use the same trick, factors of 2 over 2. Well, have you guys noticed that 1 is like always an option on these?
Yep.
So if I plug in 1, is it gonna work? 2 plus 1 is 3 minus 5. 5 is negative 2 plus 2 is, yeah, 1 works. So I'm gonna kinda do the same thing I did last time. Do you guys know how I could tell grouping wasn't gonna work?
Because the 5 and 2
It's
are.
kinda like you need the same ratio coefficients from here to here and here to here. If you take out an x squared, you get like 2x plus 1, not negative 5x plus 2. It's just different. So anyway, grouping doesn't always work. You kinda have to set it up.
What? Say that louder.
Sure, I have the ring too.
She hopes I die.
Did you say you hope it rains?
Yeah.
Yeah.
like it's gonna rain, unfortunately.
Thank you.
Okay, what goes into 2x squared? 2x times x. What goes into negative 2, 2, and negative 1? But you have to put it in a way such that when you FOIL it, the outside inside gives you 3x. So I got x is 1/2, or negative 2, or 1 from the beginning.
Same. No, we're not. Show me.
So negative 2, 1
Who
1/2.
said show me name?
You did?
Okay,
Always a weekend.
kind of the same thing as the last time. It's the squiggle, almost looks identical actually. What do we want on this one? Less than 0. So, oh, it is almost identical. Okay, so where's this function less than 0? You guys tell me. Between 1/2 and 1, or
It's less than -2.
less than negative 2.
Wow. This is very cool. There was so many
I'm
parts.
working under my horn.
Wow, first
26.
They have a Mexican cuisine.
No, I
It's
would
like
have been allowed
with
to.
cheese.
No wonder you left your
Well, thank you for seeing.
Alright, what should we do first on this one? Shh, shh, shh. What should we do first? Quick, quick, quick.
We should take some stuff out. Get it all on one
Distribute
side.
and pull it to one side. So this is 4y plus 16, but when I subtract it over, it'll be minus 4y minus 16. Okay, I believe grouping's not gonna work. Darn.
Wait, what? It doesn't?
Yeah. If you take out a y squared here, it'll be like, well, this is y to the 4th too. That's another problem. Take out y cubed here, you're left with y squared plus 1. Take out negative 4, you're left with y plus 4. Anyway, it's not going to be the same in parentheses, so crud. Factors of 16.
There is.
There are a lot.
Oh, there is.
You literally wrote meow, 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 Mr. Dorn.
Okay, but it's in the sense that it's a song.
Okay, I don't think 1's going to work here. 2, this would be, I think 2 is going to work actually. Looks like 2 is going to work. Let's plug in 2. Unfortunately, we're going to have to plug in 2 different things though. Negative 1 doesn't work. Okay, notice there's no y squared term, right? So I'm putting a 0 in for that spot. Okay, 2 did work. Unfortunately, I need to find something else that works. Is 2 a double root? I'm going to try 2 again.
Oh, that came with Cooper Driver.
Okay, no.
Never said that. Oh, wait.
Shh, girls, hush. Let's see, maybe negative 2 would work.
Wait, does 2 not work?
2 works once.
Oh.
I need a second answer though, to get it down to an x squared. So it started as y to the 4th, so I need to get it down to y squared. So I need 2 answers. Shh, girls, hush. Oh, this does work. Okay, so 2 and negative 2 work. Also, Okay, this would be a quadratic formula. This will be imaginary, I believe. Yeah.
No.
If I did quadratic formula, the b squared minus 4ac, this part is negative, so it's imaginary. So if it's imaginary, that's not going to be part of our answer. So really all we have is 2 and negative 2. Okay, what does an x to the 4th function look like? W. Now, I don't really, there's a few ways that this can be drawn. Let's see, 2 and negative 2. But it doesn't really matter how you draw it because,
How would we go up?
I mean, it could be like this and the W's up here, or it could be, you know, the opposite like this. Doesn't really matter. Everything between negative 2 and 2 is positive, and everything, no matter how I draw it, everything outside is, and it could look, probably looks like this, I guess. Everything between negative 2 and 2 is negative, everything outside is positive. And what do we want? We want negative. So that would be between here and here. So all these x values, or y values, I guess, I can't get backwards, make it negative. So between negative 2 and 2. They use the letter y instead of x. That makes it a little bit confusing. These are getting beefy, aren't they? 23. Oof.
We should just do that.
We should play Roblox.
Should be done.
Okay, I tell you what.
We should just do 21.
Let's go to 22. I'll make 24 a bonus if you want to try it.
Thank you.
Wait, are we only going to 24?
22.
We're only going to 22?
24 is a bonus.
24. So guys, this is super cool. And I am